Good day, collective. It's your girl, Sadi Rose, coming to you with today's word. If you are feeling like you don't really like this place anymore, if you are disappointed in, your fellow, Americans or just humanity in general, if you feel like you've never really belonged here in this dark matrix that we're in, not to be confused with Earth, which is mother, right? Mother is good. Spiritual school, which is Earth, is good, but it has been definitely tainted by the powers that were the dark matrix. This message is for you. The word today is, I was never meant to be a part of the dark matrix. All praise to the Most High God. Love to the Mother. This message resonates deeply with me. From a very young age, I've never felt like I was supposed to be here. Never knew what that meant, quite. I was always different. I've always just thought different, like my mindset, like how I process stuff, how I move, like I've always just been different. And that's before I was exposed to anything this world had anything to offer me, in terms of school and just my upbringing. And I've said in previous messages, from a very, very early age, I was having reoccurring dreams. And in this dream, Christ was there. I mean, I'm talking about from 4, y'all. I remember having these dreams and Christ was on, I just remember like red rocks and like the kind of brown, and I was just one of many children that were listening to him talk. And I in particular was like all up on his legs, like grabbing them, like how kids do when they grab your legs. And I just wanted to be close to Christ. And I remember him sending me here. I remember him telling me that there was an assignment for me, and that when I was done, I could come home and be with him and God. And I remember crying, and I remember him comforting me. And so the dream definitely affected me when I was younger, but just how I felt, like, because like I'm one of those people, even though I never felt like I was supposed to be here, not necessarily on Earth, living, it was just that I just felt different from everyone, because everyone else just kind of has been stuck, focused on like what is in front of them, going to work, just surface level things. I've always been intuitive. I've always prioritized how I feel in terms of energy and what I know in terms of just what I know. And that has definitely set me apart. When I was younger, I threw myself, because nothing felt like home. Not even, my parents, especially not my parents or anyone else growing up. And so I was like, I threw myself, like, in terms of feeling, my imagination was next level, y'all, or is next level. Like, I really, like, the dreams that I would have, and even when I was awake, like, definitely a creator of worlds. If I could think of myself, like, in terms of my imagination. And books fed me. And now that I'm older, I realize that those books, I was like a Shannara, Chronicles fanatic. I love me, Stephen King and Dean Koontz, and like I read all of the Lord of the books as well. And I'm realizing now a lot of the fairy tales that I was immersed in as a child, um, I'm seeing now today that the divine, like the reason why they gave me so much comfort and made me feel at home, even though they were so magical, was that um, there were slivers of truth in that science fiction and that fantasy about how the universe really is and how God really is and how we really are. And while they seem so foreign to everyone here, to me it was more like home, with the fairies and the unicorns and the elves and the druids. And I also gravitated as a child to music, because music more than anything else, and dancing and moving my body fluidly, the feeling that I had when I was younger, it overcame any kind of words, that could be conveyed to me in terms of my connection to the Holy Spirit. That feeling that rushes through you, that feeling to be close to God, the feeling of feeling good and at home when I sing, And also when I got older, playing sports, that feeling when that energy rushes through you and you move seamlessly and you don't overthink. For me, it was volleyball and rowing. I used to row, just in the moment, in the energy, in the flow. I felt home when I was doing that. And then also when I would go to church and I would sing and I would feel the room be overtaken with the Holy Spirit. And on occasion, when I got older, there was a pastor that I used to, be able to hear, and he was miraculous and fantastic, and I believe truly anointed. I still follow him today, Pastor Fard. I would feel the Holy Spirit rush through that room, and I knew that he was anointed. Probably, aside from someone in my family, one of the most inspirational messengers from God that I heard. And now that I have went through an awakening and I have built my relationship to God, I just wanted to share a message with you about, if you are feeling lost, if you are feeling like this isn't where you're supposed to be, you're feeling restless, you're feeling like this can't be it, you're feeling like you don't belong here, you feel like you have no community, I want to tell you that you should start going inside of yourself. You need to prioritize where you can actually be at home and where you can be in relationship to the spiritual, because the spiritual is coming to the forefront, y'all. That's why things are so wonky today. The spiritual is coming to the forefront, and you can connect with God, be in communication and relationship with God, if you become in relationship and get to know yourself. You have to start meditating. You have to start being intentional and mindful. You have to have a morning routine where you make time for yourself, to take care of yourself, to oil yourself, to cleanse yourself. Drink that warm water with tea when you wake up to flush you out. Again, remember I said your avatar, taking care of your avatar, making sure that your spirit is in sync and not glitching is very important. Your body, you have to be syncing with your body, and it has to be full of nutrients, and you have to make sure you don't have enough toxins to be fully in sync, with the spirit, with God, with your spirit team. I also encourage you, they have at Five Below, y'all, they have something called a Reiki for dummies. I think it's called for dummies or beginners. Go do that. I promise. Do learn some Reiki, y'all. Like, read through that. If you haven't gotten the Gaia app, go get the Gaia app. It's got so much good content. I feel that it's a little removed right now from everyday people. A lot of people who are more spiritual, who are do yoga and Pilates practices, and who are meditating, and spiritual practitioners, they're more well off traditionally. In a lot, the brown and black communities, I think the indigenous communities have been at the forefront for this for a long time, and they remain, in terms of spirituality, in terms of authenticity. But there is a growing movement in the spiritual community. But without kind of going into additional resources, like, the universe is inside of you. Your connection to God is inside of you. Home is inside of you. All the answers that you ever need to know are inside of you. You might be able to find, things that make you feel at home in music, in books. But most of what you're going to need, especially as you ascend and become more spiritual and more grounded in yourself and closer to God, and you clear out the clutter that's inside of you, taking away the layers of shadow of your own ego that this whole ascension is helping us to do, and you are healing and being truthful with yourself, and you choosing to be authentic, to not hide how you feel anymore, to prioritize what you want, to not limit yourself saying, oh, I have to be like everyone else, or I have to think like everyone else, and I have to work like everyone else. And you say, forget that. I'm going to go paint a sunset in Mexico for the rest of my life, and I'll figure out the rest later. Go inside. The more you go inside, the more home that you will feel. Because the reason why this is that, like I said, God is inside all of us. And the more of us that decide to go inside and in connection with God and reconnecting our silver lining back to God, that will mean that the more of us, because we from the internal create the external world, that means that the external world will start to change. This earth, the frequency is already going up, mother is already going up, but the more of us that reconnect back to the original grid of God, the more that this place will change. The higher the frequency, and we will be able to carry our families with us, because I am a living testament that when you change from the inside out and you are leading your household, everyone else will start to change too, y'all. Everyone else will start increasing in frequency, and the people that refuse to tune in to your frequency, they will gravitate, they will orbit out. They will not be able to stay in your life. And that could hurt, but you're going to have to be strong and let them go. And so, while you will originally be a hermit inside, the farther you go along in the process, the more you will be happy on the outside of what you're seeing around you. And like, if enough of us start getting to that threshold point where once we, change our families and our surroundings and are in close proximity to us, then we're going to start seeking each other out. Which takes me back to Gaia. Y'all, YouTube is popping. TikTok is popping. You know, I know my algorithm is definitely tailored for me, but I see so many people like me now. And I used to feel so alone. I used to think there was no one I could talk to. I thought I was the only one. But I see so many of us now. It makes me so happy. I got people to talk to. That I got people I can relate to. Like, seriously, y'all. I can't wait to meet some of y'all. Like, I'm ready to be besties. Like, for real. Like, it does. And it gives me hope. It gives me hope in that we are caring and that we are loving and that we are conscious and that we're ready to grow and that we're ready to be superhumans, y'all. I had a dream last night. Ooh, it was kind of weird, though. Like, it was like, I don't know, y'all. Y'all gotta be careful. Like, be guarded up with your energy. Especially, like, if this is, like, you're really relating to what I'm saying right now. Like, be very careful. Like, the powers that were are becoming super desperate because their time is coming to a close. But they are, like, on some real boo-boo. Like, I had a dream. And we were superheroes. We were, like, superhumans. But we weren't like, we didn't look like ourselves. It was my family. We didn't look like ourselves. We were like more like animated. And I told my daughter about this morning, and she said it was, God, why am I blanking on the name? The Incredibles. But in my dream, we had finished a mission, and the government came and took us out, including my children, my babies. I didn't like that dream. But you know, like, usually when you have a dream, you wake up and you're like upset and crying. I woke up and I was like, what? What was that about? I don't like that dream. That was stupid. I send that energy back to whoever sent that bull crap my way. You know, so I'm sorry. That was like a complete commercial break because it just reminded me about how we're going to be coming together in community to do spectacular things. But we need to be careful and have discernment because there is a growing movement of us. And the powers of word do not like that. But, you know, home is inside you. And once you prioritize finding home inside of you, and then you decide you're going to eliminate all people, places, and things around you that no longer resonate, and that from the point where you eliminate those people, places, and things, and you decide, okay, this is what I want to focus on, and this is the world I want to build, and this is how I'm going to get to that point, then you'll start, you know, bringing in and attracting the abundance, the health, you know, the love, the environment that you want to. You'll start making new relationships with people who you resonate with, that you can relate to, that you enjoy their presence. And the more of us that start doing that will come into community, and the world will no longer feel like we don't belong here anymore because we are going to bring in the new earth. All praise to the Most High God. Love to the mother. Sorry for the long message, y'all. I just had to let y'all know. And sorry for the commercial break with that messed up dream that I had. Like, what? But anyway, I hope y'all are going to enjoy your weekend. I'll see y'all either Sunday or Monday, depending on how I feel. I go with the flow. If the message comes and resonates, then I do it. If I don't, if it's not popping, then I ain't gonna pop. But anyway, I love y'all. Please like, share, subscribe. You know, that helps in terms of engagement. I am not about getting likes just to like blow up, you know, my presence. I am trying to reach people like us. I'm trying to reach people who might even be in the beginning of their journey, who wants change but doesn't know how to get there. So please share and repost. And like, if it's someone like that you can relate to, who's going through stuff, but don't know how to do it, please share any videos that I'm doing or any other people that you know, to help them in their own journey. All right, y'all. Peace.